When you've been on your feet for over 6 decades, you know your way around a house. You've walked those hallways half asleep, chased grandkids across the living room, and made more midnight trips to the bathroom than you care to count. So the idea of suddenly worrying about falling? It feels strange, almost insulting. But here's the truth. It's not about being fragile. It's about being smart. A few weeks ago, my friend Helen, who's always the picture of independence, tripped over her dog's water bowl in the kitchen. Just like that, she was out of commission for months. Not because she was doing anything reckless, but because little things around the house started working against her instead of for her. And that's really what today's conversation is about. Those little, overlooked habits that quietly raise our risk of falling after 65. You see, most falls don't come from climbing ladders or dancing on tables. They come from our slippers, our rugs, the way the light hits the hallway at night. Simple stuff, everyday stuff, but it can cost us our freedom, our confidence, even our health. That's why we're going to walk through 5 common mistakes that make falls more likely, and more importantly, how you can fix each one with small, easy changes. If you're someone who values staying independent and wants to feel safe and steady in your own home, this video's for you. And if you're enjoying what we share here, I'd love for you to hit that like button, subscribe to Vibrant Elders, and drop a comment about your own experience. What's helped you stay steady, or what you're still figuring out. Now, let's talk about one sneaky little thing that trips people up more than they realize: the shoes on their feet. Number 1, wearing the wrong shoes. I want you to think about the shoes you're wearing right now. Maybe they're your favorite pair, the ones that slip on easy, feel soft around the edges, and have been with you for years. Maybe they're house slippers you got for Christmas, or maybe just a pair of socks on a cold morning. Now here's the thing. Those very shoes might be the biggest danger in your home. I know that sounds a little dramatic, but I've seen it happen more times than I can count. My neighbor Harold, who's always puttering in his garage or taking his old dog Riley out for walks, had a nasty fall last winter. And it wasn't ice or steps or anything like that. It was his worn-out slippers. He came in from the porch, hit the hardwood floor in the hallway, and down he went. No warning, no time to catch himself. Just one slip and a fractured hip. The tricky part is that shoes don't scream danger. They feel familiar, comfortable. But what we forget is that our balance isn't quite the same as it used to be. Our reaction time slows a little, our stride changes, and if the soles on our shoes are slick or too worn out to grip properly, we're walking around with a fall trap strapped to our feet. So what should you look for? First, ditch anything that's floppy, smooth-soled, or worn down. That includes house slippers with soft bottoms, shoes that bend in half when you twist them, or anything that doesn't hug your heel properly. You want a shoe with a firm, non-slip sole, something that grips the floor like a tire on a wet road. Good arch support is key, too, not just for comfort, but to help you stand and walk with better posture. And I can hear someone saying, but sneakers are too stiff, or I hate tying laces. Totally fair. These days, there are plenty of walking shoes made just for folks like us. Ones that slide on, offer support, and still feel like a cloud on your foot. Look for brands with wide sizes, slip-resistant soles, and Velcro or stretchy laces if bending down isn't your thing. Some even have memory foam insoles and padded heels, so you feel supported without sacrificing comfort. Inside the house, it's tempting to go barefoot or shuffle around in socks. But tile floors and hardwood don't play nice with socks, especially if your balance isn't rock solid. Instead, think about having a pair of indoor-only walking shoes, just like we used to have school shoes and church shoes. Keep them by the door or bed, easy to slip on in the morning, and only wear them indoors. They'll stay clean, and your feet will stay safe. It's also worth checking the soles every few months. If they're smooth as glass, it's time to let them go. I know it's hard to part with favorites, especially the ones that have molded to your feet. But your safety is worth more than a pair of worn-out slippers. And while we're on the topic, don't forget the little extras. Shoe horns make it easier to put on stiffer shoes. Non-slip socks with grippy bottoms are okay in a pinch, like when you're just getting out of bed. But for walking around the house, stick to a good, stable shoe. You know, we talk a lot about independence as we get older, about staying in our homes, doing things for ourselves, not being a burden. And all of that starts with staying on your feet. A small thing, like upgrading your shoes, might not seem like a big deal, but it's one of the easiest, smartest moves you can make for your long-term safety. Harold's fine now, by the way. He's back to walking Riley every day, but he wears his new orthopedic sneakers religiously, indoors and out. He swears by them now, says they saved his tailbone and his pride. So before we even talk about grab bars or lighting or rugs, check what's on your feet. Because the journey to a safer home starts with your very next step. Number 2, poor lighting at home. You know what's sneaky about lighting? You don't really notice it until it's too late. One moment, you're getting up in the middle of the night to grab a glass of water. The next, your toe catches the corner of a hallway rug, and suddenly gravity isn't on your side anymore. It happens so fast, and more often than not, it happens in the dark. Our eyes, bless them, just aren't what they used to be. Maybe you've noticed it too. Reading menus in dim restaurants is harder, or stepping into a shadowy room makes everything blur together for a few seconds. That's completely normal with age. The lens in our eyes gets less flexible, our pupils don't widen as quickly, and it takes longer to adjust to changes in light. That means what used to feel like enough light might actually be putting us at risk now. I remember my cousin Sharon telling me how she fell at 2 a.m. walking from her bedroom to the bathroom. She wasn't rushing, just taking her usual path, barefoot and sleepy. The hallway light switch was across the room, so she didn't bother. And in that pitch-black space, her foot caught the edge of a low basket she hadn't moved. Down she went. Luckily, just some bruises. But she said the scariest part was lying there, alone, in the dark, not sure if she could get up. That story stuck with me. Because the fix? It's so simple. Adding just a few night lights, those little plug-in ones that cost $10, could have prevented the whole thing. One by the bed, one in the hallway, one in the bathroom. That's it. 3 tiny lights to guide her path and protect her hips. Better yet, you don't even have to fumble for a switch anymore. Motion sensor lights are brilliant for this. You can stick them along the baseboards or inside the bathroom, and they only turn on when you move. No glare, no wasted energy, just a soft glow that shows you exactly where your feet are headed. And don't underestimate the power of a good bedside lamp. One with a wide switch or a tap function makes it easy to turn on even when you're half asleep. It's those first few steps in the dark that are the riskiest, right when you're still groggy and not fully steady. Now let's talk daytime. If your living room feels cozy with warm lamps and drawn curtains, that's great for reading or relaxing, but it can hide tripping hazards. Try opening those blinds during the day or switching out old bulbs for brighter, energy-efficient LEDs. And if you're noticing more shadows in places like the kitchen or stairways, consider adding under-cabinet lighting or wall sconces. Here's a quick check you can do today. Go from room to room during daylight and again at night. Ask yourself, if I had to walk through here half awake, could I see every step clearly? You might be surprised how many corners are darker than you realized. I've seen folks resist making these changes because they feel it's unnecessary. I've lived in this house for 30 years. I know every inch of it. And that's true, but it's not about knowing your home. It's about giving your body a better chance to react. Because one misstep on an unfamiliar shadow or a glare you didn't expect can change everything in a heartbeat. You're not fragile, you're just navigating a different phase of life. And making your home brighter isn't giving in to fear, it's leaning into wisdom. It's choosing safety over pride, comfort over habit. Sharon has lights in every hallway now. She even put a motion light near her stairs for when the grandkids sleep over. And she said something that stuck with me. I used to think light helped me see. Now I know it helps me move. That's the message here. A well-lit home is a safe home. And the best part? It's one of the easiest, cheapest changes you can make. No tools, no contractors, just a little plug here, a little switch there, and you're already walking a safer path. Next time you turn off the lights at night, take a second to notice. Can you still see where you're going? If not, your next fall prevention step might be just a lamp away. Number 3, clutter and loose rugs. Have you ever taken a walk through your living room and realized it's a bit like navigating an obstacle course? Not on purpose, of course, but between the ottoman, the throw rug, the power cords, the little footstool, and that basket the grandkids dump their toys into, there's a lot going on. And here's the thing. Most falls don't happen because someone wasn't paying attention. They happen because even when we are paying attention, there's just too much stuff underfoot. I visited my Aunt Nancy last month, and the moment I stepped into her living room, I felt like I was playing a quiet game of don't trip. Her place is lovely, warm, full of personality, but I couldn't help noticing how many little hazards were right there on the floor. A small area rug curled at the edges near the couch. A lamp cord stretched halfway across the carpet. A pair of slippers tucked halfway under the recliner. And bless her heart, she said, "Oh, I just step around those." Well, sure. Until the day your toe doesn't clear that curled rug and you end up flat on the floor. We don't always think of clutter as dangerous because it's familiar. It's our stuff. It's how we live. But when we start having a little less balance or move a little slower, the things we used to glide past without a thought suddenly become risks we never meant to take. Let's talk about those rugs for a second. I know some of them are heirlooms. Some really tie the room together. But if they don't have non-slip backing or are curling at the corners, they're more hazard than decoration. If you really want to keep a rug, invest in some good double-sided rug tape or non-slip pads. Otherwise, consider removing them altogether, especially in high-traffic areas like hallways and by the bed. Then there's the maze of cords and wires. Between lamps, phone chargers, internet routers, and heating pads, it can feel like we're stepping through spaghetti. A simple solution? Cord organizers or clips that attach wires to the baseboard. Even better, run cords behind furniture, not underfoot. And if there's a cord you constantly have to step over, ask yourself if there's a better place for that device. Chances are there is. Now let's get personal. Shoes at the doorway. Newspapers or magazines on the floor. Laundry baskets waiting to be carried out. That plant stand with the legs that stick out just enough to catch your heel. It might be time for a little walk-in edit through your home. Take 10 minutes. Start at the front door and walk like you're carrying a tray of drinks, slow and careful. Notice anything that could snag a toe, twist an ankle, or make you stumble. That's your hit list. And don't feel like you have to tackle it all in one day. One corner at a time. One rug. One cord. One basket. This isn't about turning your home into a sterile, empty space. It's about giving yourself room to move, safely, comfortably, confidently. If you're not sure where to start, ask someone you trust to walk through your space with you. Sometimes a second pair of eyes can spot things we've stopped noticing. And hey, turn it into a bonding moment with the grandkids. Kids are great at crawling around and spotting things that might trip someone up. Make it a game. Find the fall traps. You'll be surprised how eager they are to help. You've lived in your home for years, maybe even decades. It holds your memories, your treasures. But as we age, the way we move through that space has to change a little. And that's okay. A clear path is not just safer. It also brings a sense of peace. You can walk through your home without worry, without watching your every step like a hawk. My Aunt Nancy, after a little friendly nudging, she let me help her move a few things around. We rolled up 2 of her smaller rugs and tucked the cords behind her bookshelf. A week later, she called and said, "I didn't realize how much easier it is to get around now. It feels like my home got bigger." That's the power of decluttering. Not just safety, but freedom. So take a fresh look at your floors. Your future steps depend on the ones you're taking today, and they deserve a smooth, clear path. Number 4, ignoring physical weakness. There's something nobody tells you about getting older. It's not always a grand moment or a sudden change. It's often the quiet, subtle things. Like needing both hands to push off the couch, or realizing that you're gripping the handrail a little tighter when going down the stairs, or feeling a little wobbly when you stand too quickly. These aren't signs of weakness, they're whispers. Little reminders from your body that it needs more attention than it used to. Most people think falls come from tripping over something, and sure, that happens. But just as often, it's not the rug or the shoe, it's the legs. The knees that don't stabilize fast enough, the core muscles that don't hold steady, the ankles that don't recover quick enough when you lose your balance. It's the quiet muscle loss that sneaks in slowly, year after year, if we don't push back. Now I want to be very clear. You don't need to become a gym rat or run marathons to stay strong. But staying active? That's essential. It's not about looking good or chasing a number on the scale. It's about keeping the muscles that help you live freely. Getting up from a chair, reaching into a cupboard, stepping onto a curb. These everyday movements all rely on strength and balance. Let me tell you about George. He's 74, lives alone, and used to say, "Exercise isn't for me. I've done my share." That was until he lost his balance while reaching down to tie his shoe and ended up on the kitchen floor with a bruised rib and a lot of frustration. After that, he didn't wait for a prescription. He started small, really small. 10 sit-to-stands from his dining chair every morning. A few heel raises while brushing his teeth. Slow walks around the block, adding a few more houses each week. Now, he says he feels younger than he did 5 years ago. Turns out, he told me, you lose what you don't use. That's the key. Use it or lose it. And the good news? You can get it back. Studies show that even people in their 80s and 90s can build muscle and improve balance with the right exercises. You don't need weights or machines. You need movement, consistency, and just a few minutes each day. Start with chair exercises. Sit down, then stand up without using your hands, as many times as you comfortably can. That builds leg strength and improves your ability to rise without wobbling. Try sidestepping along the kitchen counter, holding on lightly for balance. Practice standing on one foot while brushing your teeth. Just make sure the sink's nearby in case you need it. These little things add up. Balance drills are especially helpful. Simple ones like placing one foot directly in front of the other, toe to heel, and holding that position. Or walking in a straight line, slow and steady, like you're on a balance beam. The point isn't perfection, it's practice. The more your brain and body communicate through these movements, the faster they react when you stumble. If you've got Medicare, check if there's a Silver Sneakers or senior fitness program near you. Many YMCAs and community centers offer free or low-cost classes, gentle yoga, tai chi, or strength and balance classes. Don't be shy about starting. These classes are made for you, with folks who understand that we're not trying to compete with 20-year-olds. We're trying to keep doing the things we love, safely and confidently. And if you've already had a fall or feel nervous about moving too much, talk to your doctor about physical therapy. You don't need to be injured to qualify. A physical therapist can create a custom plan to strengthen your specific weak spots and help you feel secure on your feet again. Remember, ignoring physical weakness doesn't make it go away. It just gives it permission to grow. But facing it, working with it, that's where the power comes from. You're not too old. It's not too late. And you're certainly not alone. Every step you take toward building strength is a step away from your next fall. So don't wait for your body to yell. Listen to the whispers. Move a little more today, and you'll thank yourself tomorrow. Number 5, skipping safety equipment. There's something I've heard over and over from folks our age. I don't want my house to look like a hospital. And I get it. No one wants cold metal bars and plastic chairs taking over their bathroom. But here's the truth. Safety equipment today doesn't have to look institutional. And more importantly, using it doesn't mean you're giving up your independence. It means you're protecting it. Let me tell you about my Uncle Ray. Stubborn as the day is long, still chops his own firewood at 78 and insists on climbing on step stools to clean the top of his fridge. His daughter bought him a shower chair and a grab bar set for Christmas one year. He laughed. "I'm not ready for that yet," he said. Well, a few months later, he slipped getting out of the tub, cracked his tailbone, and spent 6 weeks recovering. You know what he said after that? "I should have put those bars in when I had the chance." That's the thing. Most of us don't think we need safety gear until the moment we really do. But the best time to install grab bars, shower chairs, and handrails isn't after a fall. It's before. It's when you're still steady, still strong, and still able to make the choice for yourself. Because once a fall happens, the choices shrink. And nobody wants that. Let's start with the bathroom. It's easily the most dangerous room in the house when it comes to falls. Wet tile, slick surfaces, soap residue. It's a perfect storm. Installing a grab bar by the toilet and another inside or just outside the shower can make all the difference. You don't have to worry about slipping while stepping over the tub wall or lowering yourself down too quickly. You've got a steady handhold. And these days, many grab bars are designed to look like towel racks or decorative rails. They blend right in. A shower chair is another simple addition that gives you more control. You don't have to rush through your shower because you're tired of standing. You can sit, wash at your pace, and reduce the risk of slipping when turning or bending. Pair it with a handheld shower head, and suddenly your morning routine feels safer and a whole lot more comfortable. And don't forget about outside the bathroom. Stairs, porches, and even long hallways can benefit from extra railings or wall grips. If your front steps don't already have a sturdy handrail, that's a must. And inside, something as simple as a wall-mounted rail along a hallway can offer just enough support for when you're carrying groceries or feeling unsteady after sitting too long. I know the concern. People don't want to feel old. They think needing a grab bar means they've lost something. But I'd argue the opposite. Putting safety tools in place shows that you haven't lost anything and you're determined to keep it that way. If you're worried about cost, many of these items are covered by Medicare or supplemental plans if prescribed by a doctor. And even out of pocket, a quality grab bar is far less expensive than an ER visit, rehab, or recovery time. Plus, installation is often easy. Some models don't even require drilling. They use tension or strong adhesives. Just be sure to follow safety guidelines or have someone help with proper placement. It's also worth having a conversation with your family. Let them know you're thinking ahead, not because you're scared, but because you're smart. Ask for help with installation if needed. Most loved ones would be thrilled to contribute in a way that keeps you safe and empowered. Ray? He's got 2 grab bars in his bathroom now. Even added one by his bed for those late-night trips. And you know what he told me? They're not for me. They're for the guy I'll be in 10 years. That's the spirit. It's not about today's aches or worries. It's about building a home where you call the shots for as long as possible. So if you've been putting off safety gear because of how it looks, take a second look. It's not about style. It's about staying strong, staying independent, and staying home on your own terms. If there's one thing I hope you take from this conversation, it's this. You're not fragile, you're wise. And wise people make smart choices, not because they're afraid, but because they've lived long enough to know what really matters. Staying safe doesn't mean slowing down. It means clearing the path so you can keep moving forward with confidence. Whether it's changing your shoes, adding a few lights, clearing the hallway, building strength in your legs, or installing a simple grab bar, you're investing in yourself, in your freedom, in your ability to keep living the life you've built with dignity and joy. I know change isn't always easy, and some of these suggestions might feel like overkill at first, but I've seen what a fall can do, not just to bones, but to confidence. And I've seen what a few small changes can do to help someone feel strong again. This isn't about taking away your independence. It's about protecting it. Because the truth is, the people who stay upright longer aren't lucky. They're prepared. So today, I invite you, no, I encourage you, to pick one thing. Just one. Maybe you start with your shoes. Maybe you install that night light in the hallway. That one step could be the one that saves you from the fall you never saw coming. If this video resonated with you, I'd love it if you gave it a like, subscribe to Vibrant Elders, and left a comment sharing what change you're planning to make first, or even a story of how a small fix made a big difference in your life. You've got so much more life to live. Let's make sure every step you take is safe, steady, and full of confidence. You've earned it.